Namaste, yogis. Welcome to this flow yoga class. We're going to be focusing on arm balancing with a whole lot of different arm balances, including Bakasana and side Bakasana. So let's come to cross ankles, and we're going to start with warming up the shoulders. So rolling your shoulders around in one direction. Let the arms and the hands feel heavy, and then circle in the opposite direction. And again, change and circle the other way around. And letting the shoulders drop. And we're going to do some wrist rolls. Relax your fingers. Don't clench your hands. And circle in the opposite direction again. Once more, change your direction of your rolls. And now from here, you're going to reach your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulders to your spine. Lift your chest high. Let those thighs drop. Each in-breath, lift up taller through the back of your neck. Each out-breath, sink the knees and the thighs. And from here, straight into a twist around to the right. Turn that left palm away from your knee or your thigh and keep sinking your knees down. Feel your breath filling your upper back each time you breathe in. And twisting yourself, cross your legs over with the opposite shin in front, and with an exhale, twist around to the other side. Once more, sink those knees. Allow the inner thighs to soften and relax. Softening into your armpits as well, letting them sink. And then untwisting, drop your right hand off to the right and take your left arm over. Lengthen through both sides of your neck. Each time you breathe out, feel your left hip drop down. Floating up to center. Again, change the cross of the ankles, other shin in front, and then we take that left hand down, right arm over. Careful not to drop your ear down to your shoulder. Lengthen through both sides of the neck. Stretch really long to your fingertips. And then coming up to center again. And now we're going to do some rocks. So, starting with hugging your knees, either like this, or you can cross the ankles and hold onto your feet. And we're going to rock back. Now you have to round your spine here. Don't try and do this with a flat spine. That's the mistake a lot of people make and then they can't rock. So tuck your chin, round your back, and we'll rock all the way back and back up to where you started. Keep going. Now notice your breath. Moving with your breathing. Maybe you can get your feet to the floor over your head. Maybe not, doesn't matter. Keep rocking. Really good opener for the back here. Warming into your back muscles. and your spinal column. We rock one more time. And next time you come up straight onto hands and knees. Once you're on all fours, we do our cats and our cows. And coming back into your flat spine. From here, we're going to take a twist. Right arm behind your left wrist, shoulder to the mat, hips over the knees, left hand slides forwards. Sink your toes and sink your shins into the floor. Making your way back up onto your hands and straight through to the other side. Left arm behind the right wrist, left ear to the mat, right arm slides forward. Coming back up onto your hands and then lifting your knees into downwards facing dog. From down dog, taking feet to the top of your mat, standing forward bend, melt down over your thighs. And holding onto your elbows or forearms with your hands, either just hanging down or swaying from side to side. Change the cross of the forearms. On an in-breath, come all the way up to standing. Take a few side stretches left to right. And next time you center yourself, release your arms down. Moving into sun salutations. Breathe in and reach up. On your exhale, forward fold. Lengthen the spine and travel straight back into your plank. Lowering as you exhale. Curl your chest up on your in-breath. Pressing back to downwards facing dog. Holding down dog. Noticing your breath. And look forward, step, walk, or hop, feet to hands. And fall down deep over the thighs as you exhale. On your in-breath, rise, arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart. On your in-breath, reach up. As you breathe out, forward fold. Half lift, stretch the heart forward. And travel back into your plank. From there, down to your chaturanga. On your in-breath, lift your chest. Melting shoulders to your upper back in your back bend. And back to hold your down dog again. Relax your neck. Let that head fully hang down. And traveling your feet back up to your hands. And bow down over thighs as you breathe out. Floating yourself up to standing. And releasing arms down to chest. We take one more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Full lengthen of the spine. And then back and down in your own time. All the way through to downwards dog. And looking forwards, make your way to your hands again. And fold deep. Rising on your inhale. Exhaling hands to center. Next in breath, reach your arms up again. Exhale to fold. We're going to stay here for a moment. Reach your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Hang your head a little bit deeper. Shift your weight into your chest. Keep lifting sits bones high, even if your knees are bent. Releasing hands down to the ground. We're making our way straight back to down dog. From downwards facing dog, taking a high lunge, right foot forward, arms go up. Opening up to warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. Heels are in line with each other, arms parallel to the floor. Inner elbows turn up, not down or forwards in the direction of your chest. Circle over, hands to the ground. Take your transition. Follow your breath all the way through. When you're ready, high lunge, left foot forwards, arms sweep up alongside your head. Squeeze the upper arm muscles tight to straighten your elbows. Let's open up, left arm forward, right arm back. Line up those heels with each other again. Twist your inner elbows up away from your mat. Circling over, hands to the ground. On an inhale, find your plank. On an exhale, lower yourself. Inhaling to your back bend. Exhaling back to down dog. Hang your head again. Taking feet to hands. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathing in, reach up again. On your out breath, forward bend. After you lengthen, traveling back into downwards facing dog. From down dog, high lunge. Again, arms up to warrior one. Keeping your legs in your lunge, take left hand to the ground into your twist, right arm to the sky. As the right shoulder and chest go up, right hip goes down. And now from here, we're going to pulse, down dog split to plank. So right hand to the mat, take your right leg back and up. And now moving with the breath on an exhale, knee to chest in plank, shoulders all the way forward, in breath to kick to the sky. You're doing 3 or 4 in your own time, count for yourself. Each time you come forward, that's one count. And next time you come forwards again, step your foot into your lunge, back knee to the ground, reaching arms back behind you. So we're still warming into those shoulders and arms for the arm balances that are going to start coming up just now. Taking hands to the ground, either right leg into plank or back to your down dog splits, and then flowing yourself through your transition. Straight into your warrior one lunge, left foot forwards, arms up alongside your head, holding it there for a couple of breaths. And straight into your twist, right hand to the mat, left arm stays lifted. Like the other side, as the shoulder and chest go up, left hip goes down. Don't lift it up. Then hands to the mat, right leg back, down dog splits, and repulse. It's your through your four, so in your own time. Exhale to come forward, inhale to kick back and up. And then next time you come forwards, straight into your lunge with the left foot, right knee to the ground, and again, arms back behind you. Be super aware each time you take your lunge and your foot forward that you always get your heel directly underneath that front knee. Releasing hands down, either left leg to plank or fly it back and up again to your down dog splits. Then traveling through, follow your breath all the way back to downwards facing dog. Traveling feet to hands, standing forward bend at the top of the mat. With your in-breath, come all the way up. Staying standing, hands behind your head. Take a few side stretches left to right. Centering yourself. On an in-breath, reach your arms up. As you breathe out, forward bend. Half lift. And back into your down dog. Now we're taking a lunge. Right foot steps forward, but turn your toes so they don't point forward. Turn them out to the right side of the mat. So the inner edge of your foot faces the front of the mat. Come onto the outer edge of your left heel and your baby toe. Lock your left knee straight, right arm up to the sky. Keep lifting the outside of your left thigh up away from the floor nice and high. You pull your toes on both your feet back towards your knees. Now we're going to do that pulse again, but this time it's knee to upper arm or elbow, not knee to chest. So turn onto back toes, hands to the mat, right leg back, down dog splits. Now we're going for right upper arm or elbow. So coming forward, either just keeping elbows straight as you do that, or if you want more of a challenge, bending elbows to your chaturanga, then taking it back. So 3 or 4 of those in your own time. Next time you take it to down dog splits. When you come forward, bring knee to chest, leg under the left side of your body, outer edge of your right foot down, left heel down like a warrior one, left arm up to the sky. Hands to the floor, right leg back, down dog splits, And now when you come into plank, we're going to hold it there. So 3-leg plank. Make sure shoulders are over wrists, guys. Squeeze all 10 fingertips down into the floor. And then lowering down through your back bend, back to downwards dog. All to the other side. Left foot steps forward into your lunge. Turn your toes out to the left side of the mat. Turn onto the outer edge of your right heel. Baby toe side. Left arm lifts. Hips up high. Shoulders to spine. Okay, hands to the ground. We're going to do that pulse again. It's knee to upper arm or elbow. Left leg back to down dog splits. And then coming forwards. Knee to the upper arm, not to the chest if you can. You don't have to bend the elbows. Can keep elbows straight. Okay, next time you come forward, knee to chest, leg under the right side of your body, outer edge of the foot down. Turn right heel to the mat like warrior two, right arm to the sky. And right hand down, back to down dog splits with the left leg. Forwards to your plank. Try and keep the leg in the air, shoulders over wrists. Flatten your spine, don't let it round. And then all the way down. And take a moment. Coming into your half frog, reaching back for left foot with left hand. Okay, changing to the other side, holding on to the right foot, the toes. Letting go of your right foot. We're making our way back into downwards facing dog. From down dog, taking feet to hands. Sink down, nice and deep into your forward bend. You're floating up to standing. Release hands to heart. Straight back up with your next inhale. Exhale and fold. Lengthen up halfway. Back into downwards dog. From down dog, it's a low lunge coming up. Right foot forward, left knee down. Hang your arms by your sides as you lift your chest. Make sure the back foot is aligned. And then circle arms forwards, up, back and around. Keep lengthening up with your neck. And now next time, arms go down. Eagle arms, left arm underneath the right. Press the elbows forwards and up. Try not to drop your hands onto your head. Fingers going up, away from the mat. Release hands down. Right leg back, down dog splits. Now we're going to do a few jump changes. So you bend your left knee, hop up, and take the right foot to the ground. And then to the other side. Do a few of those. Don't have to jump high. Next time, left leg is in the air. Stop and swing that left foot forwards to your low lunge on the other side. Hang your arms. Check your alignment of that front shin. And then we circle. Full deep breaths, guys. Next time, arms go down. Wrap your right arm under your left. Come into your eagle arms on this side. And then hands to the ground. This time, straight into your plank. Slow yourself down. All the way through. Back to downwards dog. From down dog, let's take a squat, feet to hands. Lift your spine. Flatten out your back as much as you can here. And then bum up to the sky. We're going to step feet in to touch each other. And from here, we're going to come into Upakasana. So hands go to the ground underneath the shoulders or slightly wider apart. Make sure your hands are aligned. And then lift your heels, bend your knees, and slide your elbows underneath the shins or the knees. Okay, make sure your hands are in the right place for your shoulders. And then we start to play with maybe just lifting one foot and holding one foot up. If you're able to balance in your Bakasana, by all means go up with both feet. Otherwise, you do what I'm doing. You lift one foot and you hold it there because that trains your leg muscles and it trains your pelvic floor muscles to engage in the way that you need them for a full Bakasana. Okay, left foot down, lift the right foot and hold that up. Squeeze the tummy up away from the mat. Right foot down, thumb to the sky, deep forward fold. Reaching your arms back, interlace fingers. Don't clasp them shut. Interlace so that the wrist is at a right angle so you can stretch that wrist out. And then we're not done with that Bakasana. Hands to the mat again. And once more. Slide the elbows or upper arms under the shins. And now the placement here, you don't want to have your knees too close to your elbows. Slowly, slowly, we want to try and get those knees even into the armpits. Right? And when you're ready, tipping forward, either playing with lifting one foot again or both feet come up. Once more, stretching out the legs, reach your arms back, interlace the fingers, and open into the back of the wrist. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. On an in-breath, lifting up to standing, squeeze your shoulders even further towards your upper back. Lean towards your spine. And then release the arms. With your next in-breath, reach up. As you breathe out, forward bend. Half lift. Taking yourself back into down dog. Now we're going to take that first arm balance that we started with today. Right foot forward. Turn the right toes to point to the right side of the mat. Come onto the outer left heel and the baby toe side of your foot. Take right arm up to the sky. And now make sure that your left wrist is directly supporting that left shoulder. Now lifting that right foot off the ground, try not to drag it down the mat. Step your right leg onto your left leg. Coming to Vashisthasana. Right hand to the ground, rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot. Left arm up, Vashisthasana on the other side. From here, we're taking it into our twisting lunge. Keep the left arm up. We're going to step left foot forward, and as you do that, turn onto your right toes. Taking arms up to warrior one. Straight into your warrior two. Press the left knee nice and wide, and reverse your warrior. Cartwheeling hands to the mat. Either stepping left leg to plank or back to down dog splits, and then transition yourself all the way back into downwards facing dog. From down dog, left foot steps forwards. Turn your left toes to the left edge of the mat. Turn onto the outer edge of the right heel, balancing on your right arm, left arm to the sky. Now trying not to drag your foot, try and lift that left foot off the ground, step onto your right leg. Shoulders to spine, hips up high again. And we're going straight over to the other side. Left hand to the mat, onto the outer edge of the left foot, right arm to the sky. From here into your twisting lunge. Right foot forwards, turn onto your left toes behind you. Coming up to warrior one arms. Straight into your warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. And then reverse your warrior, left hand to left leg, right arm over. Circling hands over to the ground, either right leg into plank or flying it back and up down dog splits. Traveling forwards and down with your breath. Roll your chest all the way up and make your way back to down dog again. From down dog, we're to take it into a squat, feet to hands. And let's twist our squat. Right hand or elbow down, left arm all the way up and back, looking towards your left thumb. And taking the left arm down and twisting the right arm up and back. And let's take it into our forward bend. Now you're to keep your feet wide, turning them parallel, and swing your arms back behind you. Bend your right knee, drop your right shoulder to that right leg if you can, keeping the left leg straight, leaning towards your head. Keep twisting your chest open to the left side of your mat. Changing over to the other side. Left shoulder down, right shoulder up. Right knee straightens, left knee is bent. And once more, change over, bend your right knee, stretch the left leg straight again. And then change. Left knee bends, right leg straight. And back to center. Release your arms, hang down over thighs or hold onto ankles or calves with your hands. But drop your head. Relax the neck completely. Each out breath sinking deeper into the top of your skull. And now from here, we're going to step back with the left leg, nice long step down the mat. Walk your hands around to the left side of your mat. And we're coming into our wide leg forward fold. Just sink down, but take your arms back behind you, clasp or interlace your fingers again. Once more, release the back of your wrist. And now we're going to come all the way up, keeping arms back. And we're going to move into Parsvottanasana. So we're going to turn on our feet to face the front of the mat. Bring your hands onto your hips. So right toes turn forward and the back foot is at 45-degree angle. Square your pelvis to the short end of the mat. And now we're taking reverse namaste. So arms go back, find your hands. Usually to get the arms back, the shoulders have to come forward. So get your shoulders all the way back. Here are the options for reverse namaste. Either fists and thumbs touching, elbows back, or holding onto forearms or elbows or even up arms with your fingers, or full reverse namaste with palms and thumbs and index fingers shut. Okay, this is not a reverse namaste. Rather do the other version then. So we want to have palms completely shut here. So shoulders all the way back, folding down over your right leg. And usually as we fold in, the shoulders and the elbows drop and the hands slide apart. Lift the elbows as high as you can. Your arms really work here to keep the lift in this bind. Make sure your left heel is flat on the ground. Don't come off the heel onto your toes. And then all the way up. Keep your arms behind you if you can. Turn to face the other side of your mat. Check that your hips are completely square, shoulders all the way back, and then fold down over that left leg. Right heel is on the ground, guys. And once more, if your hands are flopping apart, change your bind. Rather do fists and thumbs or hold onto forearms. Press the elbows up, lift your shoulders up high away from your chest. Coming up to center, and then release hands onto your pelvis. Now we're going to swivel around to face the other side again, and we're going to take a twisting triangle, get chest and hips completely square to the edge of the mat that you're facing, and then fold down. Left hand to the floor, either on the inside of the foot or on the ankle or shin, or hand on the outside of the foot. If you're doing outside the foot, the palm and the fingers are flat. Don't have like one finger down or the edge of your hand down. And then right arm up to the sky. Check that your left heel is firmly down on the ground. Don't lift it. Bringing right hand down. Come all the way up to center. Swivel around to face the other side of the mat. Get hips and chest completely square. Back heel is down. You're not on your toes. Folding down. Right hand to the floor wherever you feel you need it. And twisting the left arm all the way up. Once you're in the full twist, check in with that right heel again. Often partway into the twist, the heel is down, and then full twist and it lifts. So don't let it lift. Keep it down. Coming all the way up to center. And bringing the feet in. Okay, now we're going to play with doing a side bakasana. And don't worry if you don't get it. It's one of those poses that actually takes a very long time and a lot of practice to get. So if you are keen to get it, you got to practice it often by yourself. Okay, so we're going to stand sideways on the mat like I'm doing, not facing the front of your mat. And from here, we're going to come into a squat. Now my heels are going up. I'm bending my knees. My knees are together. I'm going to twist to the right and I'm going to place my hands like a bakasana, shoulder width apart. Make sure that your hands are not turned out away from each other. So they're like down dog hands, right? Now, just like a bakasana, I've got to have my bum higher than my knees to be able to get feet off the ground. So I'm going to lift my hips and now I'm going to bend my elbows to create a little shelf for my knee. Okay, and if you lean over, maybe this is good enough for you. Maybe you're just feeling this out. The next place to go is to lift one foot, just like you did in your bakasana, and try and hold it there with one foot up. Try to be evenly balanced in your weight across your hands and your shoulders. And then foot down. Okay, we take that to the other side. So as always, we're going into it nice and carefully and easily, stage by stage. So bend the knees, toe squat, heels are off the mat. And I'm going to twist towards the left. And I'm going to put my hands onto the floor. Again, shoulder width apart, not turning the hands out away from each other. Hands are like down dog hands. Okay, index fingers parallel to each other. Now I've got to lift my bum before I lift my feet. So hips up, hook my right elbow underneath the right leg, start to create a little shelf. So I'm bending my elbows. And again, maybe that's enough. Maybe you lift that right leg. Keep breathing. And again, feel for even balance across the hands and the wrists. Don't lean more into one hand than the other. And then foot down. We're coming up to standing. Legs wide again. Little bit of a break. Arms back, interlace the fingers, and fall down. Relax the neck. Soften into your chest. Good stretch into the legs. Coming all the way up. Okay, we're going to try that again. Maybe this time taking both feet off the mat. So squatting down, lift the heels, knees nice and deep, and they bend. We're going to go a little bit more at an angle this time so that you can see a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to twist around to the right, hands to the floor. Now you can really see my hands are placed like down dog hands. You can't see that when you're sideways on the mat. Okay, and then I'm going to lift my hips. I'm taking my elbows underneath my right leg, and I'm trying to rest my knee on my upper arm just like a little shelf. Okay, so my elbows are starting to bend. I'm tipping my weight forward like a bakasana, and then keeping feet together, lifting feet off the ground. And let's take it over to the other side. So we start with feet together. We come into a little toe squat, heels off the ground, feet and knees are touching. I'm going to twist to the side, placing my hands like down dog hands, hooking my right elbow underneath the left leg. Bum goes up, my elbows start to bend. Check that your hands are not turned out or in. Maybe lifting one foot, maybe lifting both. And coming down. Way to sit straight down onto the mat. Interlace your fingers with the elbows pointing down. And now we're going to roll the wrists. So take left wrist forward, right wrist back towards your chest. Then lift the right wrist up and over. So now the left wrist is pointing to you. Okay, and we roll it a few times. Change and roll in the opposite direction. And once more change. And again change. And release out. You can shake your hands a little bit. Making your way into down dog. And from down dog, we're going to take half pigeon. Right knee forwards to the back of your right wrist. Heel under the left hip. When you stretch this leg out, make sure it's not leaning a little bit off to the left. Left leg is straight behind your left hip, down the length of the mat. And then taking it down to forearms, all the way onto your chest. Coming up onto your hands, straight back into down dog. From down dog, changing to the other side, left knee to back of left wrist, heel under your right hip. Check that the right leg goes straight back behind you, and then take yourself all the way down. Relax into the front of your body. Melting down deeper with each exhale. Taking yourself back to hands, back to your downwards facing dog. And now we're going to do that half pigeon again. Right knee to right wrist, heel under the left hip. And this time we're going to take the bind. So balancing on the left forearm. You don't have to have the forearm pointing forward. It can turn sideways across the mat. And reaching your right arm back behind you. Now, as that arm goes back, lift your right shoulder. Don't keep the shoulder down and wrap your arm behind yourself like that. Lift the right shoulder up. That will take your hand closer to your foot. If you can, you hook your fingers over the top of the right big toe or the arch of the foot. The more your right shoulder goes up, the more you want to sink your right hip and bum down. Untwisting yourself, hands to the mat, right leg back to down dog, and straight off to the other side. Left knee forward to the back of your left wrist, heel under the right hip, right leg straight back down your mat behind that right hip. Right forearm on the mat, wherever it feels right for you. As the left arm goes back, lift the shoulder. Keep twisting your chest, trying to get the shoulder up nice and high. Again, the more, like a twisting triangle, the more the left shoulder goes up, the more this left bum will want to go up. So keep it sinking down. And twisting, taking it back to downwards dog again. And from down dog, we're coming back to sitting on the mat. Legs straight out in front of you. Dana Shasana, right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Drop your knee down. Inhale to reach forward for the left leg or foot. With each exhale, drop into your legs. Feel those legs get really heavy in the hips. Soften down your spine. Coming all the way up. Change legs, right leg straight, left foot up, sink the thigh and the knee. When you're ready, inhale to reach forward, exhale to sink. Coming all the way up, both legs straight. And just because we can, a little bit of fun. We're going to tip forward. Take your hands towards the outsides of your knees. So my knees are here. My hands are going to be just slightly behind the lines of the knees. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're trying to get bum off the ground and then trying to get feet off the ground. The way to do that, you've got to tip forwards. Don't do this, because then you'll never get your feet off the floor. You've got to tip forwards, take your chest forward, and try and get bum off the ground. And then maybe feet. One more time, hands forward, tipping chest forward. Try and get bum off the floor, flex the ankles. Okay, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Draw the shoulders apart and back towards your spine. And coming all the way up. Both legs straight again. We're going to come into Kranchasana, keeping left leg where it is, and don't let the toes flop open. Keep the left toe straight up, right knee bends up. Holding onto that right foot, lift your heel and give it a good stretch. And flexing both ankles here. If you want your leg to come closer, you've got to be really strong with the arms to pull that leg in. Keep trying to lift your chest. Keep trying to flatten your back. Don't let the back round. Lifting tall with the top of your head. And then taking right leg down, we change. Left knee up, holding the edges of that left foot, back up nice and straight. And then taking the leg up. Stretching into both heels. Don't let the right toes flop over. Keep them straight up. Lift your heart high. Flatten your back. Again, to get the leg in, you've got to really work the arms. You pull hard with your arms. I know it doesn't look like I'm pulling hard, but I am. Lift the chest even higher. And then leg down to the ground. Straight into forward fold. Both legs together. Coming up, we're going to make our way onto our backs for one last pose. Once you're down on your back, bend your knees with your feet touching. Cross your right thigh over your left into eagle legs, and then twist your knees over to the left. Now take your right palm, turn it up alongside your head with the elbow on the ground to flatten that right shoulder and shoulder blade down. Don't worry about trying to get your knees to the floor. Let the knees be in the air, but do make sure the shoulder and the shoulder blade are on the ground. And lifting legs back up to center. I'm going to change over. Cross the left thigh over the right. Twist your knees to the other side. Turning the left palm up. Flatten the elbow, upper arm, and shoulder down into the mat. Once again, don't force your knees to the ground. Rather have the shoulder down and your knees in the air. Lifting legs up to center and twist them. And we're going straight into Shavasana. Stretching your legs out. Flop the feet. Relax your arms. Closing the eyes. Letting the eyes fully relax. Let your whole face fully relax. Each out breath sinking into your shoulders. Dropping deeper and deeper into your back. And now gently starting to wake up, hands and fingers, feet and toes. Take in a nice long deep breath. Stretch your body open. Maybe hugging your knees again. Lifting yourself up to sitting. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Namaste.